Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's DLloyd. I know it has been a while, but I am back, man, and we need to talk about Saquon Barkley because, in my opinion, Saquon Barkley just helped ruin even more the running back market in the NFL. Now, clearly, the running back market wasn't just going crazy or anything like that. In fact, probably the running back position is the least desirable position in the NFL right now. You're better off being a kicker. Heck, at this point, you're better off being the fourth or fifth receiver on the NFL team. But nonetheless, the NFL market is not going great, and it seemed like all the current NFL running backs were trying to somewhat make a union of types, right? In terms of running backs, they got together on a conference call over the weekend, and they were trying to figure out how they could effectively make this market better for their position group, which already seems a little bleak because the CBA isn't up for a while. So I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. So if that is the case, how does Saquon Barkley signing a 1-year, $11 million contract ruin the market even more? Well, let me explain at least my perspective of things. So going into the offseason, you had three main free agent running backs. You had Saquon Barkley with the Giants, Tony Pollard of the Cowboys, and then Josh Jacobs of the Las Vegas Raiders, all of which were looking to get a contract extension, all of which got franchise tagged because that is the rules of the game. If you have a running back, never give him a contract extension. Just hit him with 2 franchise tags, let him go to free agency, and draft you another running back. So all three of them had a decision to make. All three of them got offered the franchise. Like I said, Tony Pollard signed his tender, so he is going to be playing the 1-year deal worth $10.1 million. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, they were the last 2 running backs standing, and it looked like they were going to hold out into camp, but they had to get an extension done before the deadline, which neither of them did. Now, Josh Jacobs was actually at the team facility hoping that they could get a deal done when the time struck, and it did not get done, and it looked like both of them were going to be holding out, possibly missing some training camp time, and even worse, possibly missing some NFL games. Saquon Barkley even came out on the podcast and alluded to potentially missing games, which then sparked, a lot of discussion around the NFL and players, but mainly the running back saying, how was our position being so devalued, right? You have guys taking pay cuts to stay on teams, and your top guys are not getting paid like your top guys. Just think about it. Saquon Barkley is the offense for the New York Giants, but he's not going to get paid like that at all. So they got on the conference call. They're trying to figure out how can we make this better. You have to really stand together and make it packed if this is going to change, because there is no incentive for the owners and the GMs to make any changes to how things are operating, because the players only could do but so much with the current CBA, which makes this a tough situation. But if you're going to make a stand, you're going to have to sacrifice, and you're going to have to make a big stand, and frankly, that did not happen. So instead, Saquon signed the 1-year, $11 million deal. Now, the current franchise tag for Saquon and Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard, whoever got franchise tag, right? $10.1 million, no signing bonus, no incentives, and you can get franchise next year. Doesn't sound like a great deal, I know, but that's the deal you have. What Saquon signed was $11 million, so he still gets the $10.1 million that he was going to get, but instead of that base salary, he gets $2 million up front as a signing bonus. The rest still be paid out salary, and then you get $900,000 on top of that. I guess that is the sweetener or the markup. But that's it. You can still be franchise tagged next year. And the reason why I said this makes the market even worse, in my opinion, for running backs is because that is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. What do you think another running back is going to get? They're probably not going to go over the $11 million. If so, it's going to be very, very little. They're not going to see Derrick Henry type money, which I believe is around $16 million. They're not going to see Nick Chubb type money, which is around $14 million. You're going to get probably less than what Saquon got. And if you are on that caliber, you're going to get roughly the same. So that's kind of like a soft ceiling that you just placed on the running back market. And I wouldn't be too upset at this if it was a situation where they didn't make a big deal about it, right? Because essentially you just signed the franchise tender. That's essentially what was signed. You just got some money up front and you got $900K more, which granted is still $900K more, but in the big scheme of things, that's nothing compared to the $220 million salary cap that teams have, right? So you get the best player. For Saquon, it can either go two ways, and they're both negative. You can get injured, which hopefully that does not happen at all. You can get injured, and your values will go down next offseason. You could go crazy and get 1,800 rushing yards, 1,600 rushing yards, lead the teams to the playoffs, and now you got 200, 300 carries on your body, and you're going to be devalued, and your value will go down, which means you're probably never going to sign that long-term extension. You will probably be on the franchise next year. If the first happens and you get hurt and you don't provide much to the team, you will probably then be released. If it goes great, then you want to get another franchise tag. It will then keep him for one more year and then throw him out, draft another running back, and rinse and repeat the entire cycle again. And that's terrible. That is terrible. I hate how the running backs are being treated in the NFL. Like I said before, there is no reason to teach your kids, or if you're a younger guy trying to come up, there's no reason for you to be a running back, bro. Just go learn to catch a pass or something, bro. You're gonna make a lot. Heck, go kick a football. You're gonna make a lot more money doing that. So I mean, at the end of the day, the running back position being devalued, and it's still one of the most important positions in the league. And I think that we're going to see the importance of running backs come more and more as we go into the future, because we got into a real spread out, heavy passing attack offenses. Teams are now in nickel and dime formations basically the entire game. The nickel is now the new base defense. And now how do you counter that? You go back to a more smash mouth, run-oriented offense, and you can catch those teams off guard. So you will start to see the transition back to the running game, I believe, in the NFL over the next few years. And who's the catalyst of that? Running backs. Running backs are the catalyst of that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see where this benefited anybody. Maybe it benefited Saquon for the 1 year. It's tough because they're already in a bad situation. So I don't want to say it's all his fault. This certainly does not help, man. But that's my rant for the day. You guys let me know what you guys think of the running back market in the NFL. Did Saquon help it? Did he hurt it? Will he ever get another contract? What is Josh Jacobs' deal going to end up looking like if he signs one? I would assume he would now because he's the last running back standing. Is it going to get more or less? Who knows, man? But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. It's DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.